is basically talking to a certain group of women that go through this one challenge every day, or even like for the rest of their lives, and they are judged, they are looked down upon, they are called names and stuff, but a lot of them find themselves in this situation or living this certain lifestyle because of how life happened to them when they were young, or because of the decisions they have made, and not really by choice, or that they enjoy the life they're living. So I'm telling you guys a story of those women, or of that woman, and here it goes. She builds an invisible wall around herself, fearing that she might stain people with some of the dirt she carries. Or maybe that they might see that she is dirty. Is she really dirty, or is it just a feeling? SHAME is the first, or maybe even the only word written in bold capital letters that she comes across when she opens her emotional vocabulary. She lays her eyes on the mirror and barely recognizes the good-looking trash she's become. She stays there while comparing who she was with who she's become. Her eyes are filled with tears as she sees an unbelievable difference between her two selves. She holds her tears from dropping so she does not mess up her makeup. She holds herself from expressing her pain so she does not mess up the mess she's become. She takes yet another look at herself. With shame and disgust, she grabs her false hair, wears it on her head, and scatters tiny drops of perfumed liquid over herself, and leaves her big, cold house to make use of the person she's become. As she leaves, she softly recites her daily prayer, chest out, chin up, catwalk, amen, and off she goes. When she flashes back, remembering her childhood, she remembers her mother being brutally killed by her father when she was very young. She sees her mom's visible and invisible blemishes. She carries her mother's pain. She remembers times when her mom would be dragged to the streets, beaten like a witch that has been caught naked, sworn at like a scum, beaten until unconscious, all of those done by her father. She consoles herself by thinking that at least she didn't turn out like her mother. She lives alone in a big house, drives expensive cars, goes on expensive holidays, but all of that at what price? At a price of being here today with different men. So like her mother, she allowed herself to be used, to be controlled, and to be reduced to nothing. So now who, when, and how is this cycle going to be broken? No, wait. It gets even worse. It goes even more deeper. She gets even more traumatized as she remembers her mother on the hospital bed, bruised beyond recognition, physically, psychologically, and otherwise. But what really traumatizes her is leaving her mother at the hospital. It's what awaits her back home that brings her to tears. Her mom is not the only reason why she's crying, but the fear. The fear of being alone under the same roof with the man she called dead. Because she knows that in her mother's absence, she's the one to play wife, both in the kitchen and in the bedroom. She was told that that's her role to play when mom's away. She was warned not to tell anyone lest she dies. She was only 9 years old at the time. But now it's 20 years later, mom's long buried, and since the release of her father from prison, she has not exchanged not two words with him, and that gives her nights full of peace, everything she ever wanted. Now she's on a mission, a money-making mission, because those pieces of paper are what temporarily makes her forget where she comes from. She goes out to suck them dry, never minding the price she has to pay, because she asks herself why spare dignity she already does not have. How does she even begin to spare what has been snatched from her a long time ago? Where do we start answering those questions? Now, most of you call her a slave queen. Others call her a gold digger, and others a whore. But do you now understand how she got to earn the title? Thank you.
Yo. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate. We celebrate Batho ba bo Mmene during this month of August, and we are delighted to have you join us. So what we do is that for each and every year moving forward, August will be dedicated to Batwabom, like yourself, creatives, and. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So just to have a quick one, Zuzu, is that the real name or it's a poetic name or it's a stage name?
Yo, okay, it's my nickname basically, but I use it for my stage name. Yeah, basically.
What?
My real name is Nozuko.
Oh,
It's a Xhosa
Nozuko.
name.
So you are closer.
Yes, my mom was closer.
Are you also doing those poems out? I know Xhosas to be very good poets.
I wish I could, but I don't. I think it's nice poetry though.
So the love of poetry, how did it find you?
Well, it started in primary school. I was in grade 7, so I was those kids that liked to be smart. Yeah, well, I am smart.
Okay.
But like I liked shining. I liked being seen and stuff, but I was very shy. So I entered poetry. There was, debate and stuff, like my extramural activities in school. And then I chose poetry. And then, yeah, I just grew from there because I just wanted to be heard, to be seen. Yeah.
So in the art space, is it only poetry or there's the creative side, Elohim, we don't know of?
Well, I also do makeup as well. I've started paintings as well. Yeah, but poetry is the most.
First love.
Yes, definitely.
I ask this question a lot. If someone were to write a poem for you, do you agree to recite it or you only do the ones that you want?
No, unfortunately, no. I wouldn't recite a poem that someone would write for me because it's not my story. Like it's not my truth. I wouldn't.
But would you write for someone?
If they're gonna pay me, yeah, I would.
At a cost.
Yes, at a cost. But just writing for them to perform my work, no, it doesn't feel right.
And in terms of the poetry that you do, what kind? Is it like love poems, poems about life, or poems about I don't know, what kind of poetry do you do?
Okay, so when I started, I never really wanted to classify myself because I wanted to allow myself to write about anything I wanted to write about. But now, as I've been writing and I look at the pattern of the poetry I write, I find that I write a lot of political poems. Wow. Relationships. I think politics exist everywhere, basically. So when I traced routine, what type of poetry I write, I could see a lot of politics in it, right?
With what's happening right now, what's your take in the political space in South Africa?
You mean when it comes to like parliament and stuff?
Or general, whatever.
What is my take on what specifically?
On what's happening currently in South Africa.
Yeah.
On a political scale.
Okay. Well, as I said, that politics exists everywhere. So there's a lot that is happening in South Africa politically, not just when it comes to parliament pen, even educational wise, there are a lot of politics there. When it comes to just a lot of spheres. So my take on the politics of South Africa is that, man, I'm just so tired of the corruption. I feel like the country is not really moving at a pace and I've been moving high. There's a lot of money also in the country that is just being benefited by a number of people, which is not really benefiting our country. So it's just tiring thinking about the political state of the country in terms of those affairs. Yeah.
I've seen you in a couple of posters recently. Do you want to tell us a bit about that and what direction are you taking now?
Okay, well, with the posters, It's where I would go in events. I would go perform poetry also, and I've only really started to perform more or to take to like put myself out there more recently. That's why I've been on a lot of posters. So it's just poetry, performing spoken word, live. Yeah.
And I see that recently you did a poster of a poetry session.
Yeah.
Please tell us more about that.
Yeah, so that one is called Newtown Narratives, and it's going to be a new town in Johannesburg. So it's a project I'm working on with a good friend of mine and a team, obviously. We want to be the household in Newtown when it comes to art, literature, so we want to start that we want to start that thingy, that event, and like we want it to grow, man, to become something that when you think about Newtown, you think about Newtown Narratives, the event, like we want to just do that. So it's an event that's going to be running every last Thursday of the month in Newtown at Nikki's Jazz Restaurants. Yeah.
Shout out. And what do you think about the poetry space in Orange Farm?
Oh, okay. That one. There's not a lot of poetry events. Okay, on the posters where you see me, I was invited to my event where it's like a hip hop event, but there's poetry also, like a plus type of thing. It was a Women's Day event, but then we'll bring a poet. I'm just saying there's not like a spotlight on poetry, your own for your own, Okay, there probably is, but I cool.
What?
Yeah, I cool. But like, there is a project though that I think people should be on the lookout for. Poetry lovers, that where they can come. I can't say a lot about it now because it's still cooking. But yeah, they'll surely see it somewhere.
So in closing, what can you tell us that we can expect Zuzu the poet, and what message do you have to Batubabo since it's the month? Yeah.
Well, what people can expect from me is a lot of my mind, because that's what I write on my poetry. I speak my mind, I write what's on my mind. And I do believe I have an interesting mind, that people would want to hear. So, yeah, that is from me. Also, with poetry, I want to do more. I feel like I've been just holding myself. I don't know why, but I just want to go out more and do more and write more and perform more. So that will be seen on the social media spaces. And then to women, since it's Women's Month, oh man, oh my God, it is so hard being a woman, being a black woman. Futhi, it is very very hard because you are the last on the chain, But we do it so well that it's like we are what's the word? We are prospering, in something so hard, which is just being a woman, something you can't control really, something you didn't choose to be, right? But to women, I'd like to say that you guys are seen, you guys are doing a lot. You guys are gifted also. I just wish women would look inside of them and know they have something to give. I've seen also, okay, well, it's a conversation for another day, but I just wish that women knew that they have much more to give than what's on the surface. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. A woman reclaiming their power. It's about a woman not allowing society to dictate who she should be, what she should do, what she shouldn't do. And here it goes. What you see when you look at me is what lies not in me but inside of you. It's true. What you feel when you think of me has got nothing to do with me. Stop telling me what my femininity should be. I'm not your mirror, not your muse, not a wound for you to use. I'm not the pain you pass down from line to line, and not the silence wrapped in a shrine. You call me angry, I call it fire. You see defiance, I see desire. I laugh in rooms that tried to shrink me, grow gardens where they tried to sink me. My softness is not for bending. It marks the power of calmness, and it's never ending. I hold joy like a fragile flame, carry history in my name. You see me cry and call it weak, but do not know the storms I do not speak. This stance, this skin, this gaze, this breath, I've danced with life, I've dined with death. I've stitched my wounds with broken verse, turned silence into something fierce. I've rocked their shame with sacred cloth, turned every no into a go, lit by the fire I keep inside, where my fears and faith collide. Now, if you speak my name, let it be true. You never broke me, I broke through.
Zuzu Sitoko.